So, want to set up the talents for Windwalker. Um, so with Windwalker, I haven't done anything with Windwalker. I've done a lot with Mistweaver, and more recently I've done a lot with Brewmaster, but I've done nothing with Windwalker. So, um, yeah, so want to set that up and do something. Not entirely sure yet, but this is what the talents look like. What does the... Yeah, still never used this single button assistant, so since I've got enough characters now with the allied races and everything, I've made a new character to be my brewmaster, which meant I had 3 monks. So this was actually my original monk, and I have not played her in quite some time. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and reset the Windwalker talents first. So you get Fist of Fury. Fist of Fury's damage is increased. 100% of your haste. Fist of Fury does 10% more damage each time it deals damage, resetting. When Fist of Fury ends, your auto attack speed is increased. Okay, that all seems good. Replaces Expel Harm. A lot of combat, your chi balances to 2 instead of depleting to empty for 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds, your next Tiger Palm also cast Expel Harm. Sounds good to me. This is a weird ability. I see what they were trying to do. If you played Monk when they first introduced it in Mists of Pandaria, this was a lot of what their spells did. It did damage and healing, everything did damage and healing. I played Mistweaver. And if you played Brewmaster, you have my sympathy because they just drug Brewmaster all over the place. But Mistweaver, I can attest, was very much that way. Everything did damage and healing. So, Blackout Kick reduces cooldown of Rising Sun Kick and Fist of Fury. Yeah, okay, that seems fine. Tiger Palm damage increased. Maybe not. This seems more like a filler ability. Make your next Blackout Kick cost no cheat. Yeah, so, critical strike chance increased by 2%. So, yeah, somewhere in here you have a tiger pet, which I think is probably one of the more well-known well-known. There we go. You had to type it in exactly. Because I don't think, yeah. Invoke. Okay. Let me see here. There we go. Where is it here? Is it a talent? Oh, okay. So it's in the hero talents now. Gotcha. But yeah, you do have your own effigy. So I think that's one of the more well-known ones. You can see the white tiger of the White Temple is the background for the Windwalker Talents. That I think was a more well-known place in Pandera. I can't think of the zone, but yeah, it's the same zone where you had the Shaw of Anger was, where you had to farm for the Cloud Serpent. So I think more people might have known that. So critical strike chance increased by 2%. This effect is increased 100%. Well, okay. option to stop and sleep. What is the mastery? So your abilities deal more damage when they are not a repeat of the previous ability. Okay, so that's it then. Fist of Fury. Okay, so that's yeah, so that's the talent we already took. Again, I hate that they don't remove the talents when you reset stuff, so you can actually see what your actual abilities do. So okay, okay. So don't know about that. Blackout kick, critical strike, chance increased. Okay, that seems fine. Increases your maximum chi by 1, energy by 20, and your yes, that's fine. Rising Sun Kick has a chance equal to 100% of your haste to trigger a second time, dealing physical damage and restoring 1 chi. Yeah, that's fine. Tiger Palm causes your next blackout kick to strike an additional time. 12% chance to reset the remaining cooldown. Yeah, okay, and then I think a successful attack that triggers. Okay. Rising Sun Kick has a chance equal to 100% of your haste to trigger a second time. Okay, that's what I already took. Okay, so the cooldown of Rising Sun Kick is reduced by 1 second, and the damage of Blackout Kick is increased. Okay, so what is the cooldown? It is 8 seconds, so yeah, we will take 7. This has the weirdest cooldown. It's a good ability, but it has the weirdest cooldown. I just realized it reduces the effectiveness of the target's healing. The only other ability I can think of that does that is Shiv. I think Shiv has a similar effect for rogues. You have a 14% chance when you Tiger Palm to cause your next blackout kick to cost no chi within 15 seconds. Sure. That seems fine. When you consume blackout kick, I don't know why we put an exclamation point at the end of that. You have a 100% chance to generate 1 chi. When you consume blackout kick. Okay. Is it a... It's not a passive. Okay. Increases your maximum energy by 30. Tiger Rabbit's energy cost is reduced by 5. What is it now? It is 55. That is a lot. So we will take that. To generate a chi. So I think... Okay, so what actually uses chi? So Rising Sun Kick, Blackout Kick, okay, so everything. Everything does. Okay, so yes, probably. And then we're gonna have to take something else. So okay, so Tiger Palm causes your next blackout kick to strike an additional time. Okay, so that does nothing with chi. Tiger Palm damage increase 50%. Okay, sure. Your auto attacks have a 30% chance to instead kick your target, dealing damage increased while using a two-handed weapon. Interesting. What? Let me see here. So there used to be some monks used to have a thing with their weapons where why am I not seeing it? Was it armor skills? No. It was weapons. Oh, there we go. Hello, I'm blind. Yeah, they would do different things. At least I know Brewmaster was like this. They would do different things depending on what you were using. So if you used, I think, like dual wield, you got more haste, and if you used a two-handed weapon, you got more critical strike or something like that, more versatility, something of that nature, something along those lines. So, okay. Well, chances are I'm going to be dual wielding, most likely, because I'm dual wielding now. So, yeah, and I don't play very many classes that can't, are able to dual wield, so I like being able to do that. So, I don't think that would be much help. The cooldown of Touch of Death is reduced. Okay, so your auto attacks have a 30. Okay, so that would still work. Damage increased while using two. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Rising Sun Kick damage increased by 15%. Critical Strike damage increased by 12. Spinning Crane Kick damage increased. Okay, I'm going to take that because you don't really have a lot of AoE. It's pretty much just Spinning Crane Kick. And Fist of Fury when you're able to use it, but it's mostly just in front of you, so kind of guess, kind of know this is more kind of cleave damage, I would say. Yes, Touch of Death. Spinning Crane Crick detonates into Chi Explosion, dealing nature damage to all enemies. Reduce by power. Yeah, that's fine. So you gain 10% more haste from all sources. Damage of Fist of Fury is increased. I'm thinking the haste might actually be more beneficial because haste helps with energy. So I think that might be better. Chance to make your... Okay, so spending Chi has a chance to make your next spinning kick. Okay, yeah, that's fine because I'm using that quite a bit. Blackout Kick damage increased by 5%. Strikes an additional 2 targets. And okay, that's fine. So again, like cleave damage. You have a 100% chance to gain Blackout Kick. Again, don't know why we're using an exclamation point. Let me black out kick. Ah, okay, so there is no exact match. This is just showing me what mentions. So yeah, I think somebody might need to come back through here and proofread something, unless I'm missing something, because there is no talent, like a passive for that. You have a 40% chance when you Tiger Palm to cause your next Blackout Kick, but it doesn't have an exclamation point, so... yeah, that is a bit weird. I have to say, this doesn't... No. No. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, not seeing anything. Okay. Just a bit weird. Where was I? There we go. So you have a 100% chance to gain Blackout Kick after consuming Dance of Chi. What is Dance of Chi? Ah, that was the one I took before. Okay. Well, that could be good. Sometimes comboing passives like this is actually quite nice. After consuming, but I don't know what Blackout Kick is exactly, so I'm taking something that I'm not 100% sure on. Rising Sun Kick gains 40% additional effectiveness from Mastery. Okay, so the Mastery is just to use a different ability, right? More damage when they are not a repeat of the previous... Okay. It used to be a talent that you would get, so you could actually see your buff of how many different abilities you used. And then if you repeated one, it would just go away. So... your magical damage increased. Don't know that I'm really using magical damage because it's all physical. Yeah. So the only magical damage I would use would be, that's nature damage. That's about the only spell I have. Spinning crane kicks, physical damage. Tiger Palm's chance to activate Blackout Kick is increased by 75%. Tiger Palm's damage is increased. Okay. Jade Fire Stomp, thing's probably good. At the end of your Fist of Fury channel, you release a Jade Fire Stomp, dealing damage to 5 enemies within front of you and increasing your movement speed by, yeah, that's fine. Path of Jade, I like that picture. I actually like both of these. Increases the damage of Jade Fire Stomp by 10% per target hit. By that damage up to maximum of 15. Jade Fire Stomp now strikes one additional target, but deals 300% increased damage and healing. Wait. Now strikes one target. Gotcha. Yeah, Path of Jade could be good, because Fist of Fury has always been like the big ability for Windwalker, so I think that is probably good. Slicing Winds, envelop yourself in a razor sharp winds, then lunge forward, dealing nature damage. Okay, nope. Hold to increase lunge distance. Yeah, so they're putting the they are putting the Evoker, the ability to charge your abilities. They're starting to put that on other things. They did with the Earthen racial ability, which I thought was perfectly fine, because it does different things. It does damage, it does healing, depending on how long you hold it down. I think it does overtime damage. I think it does initial damage, healing, and then overtime damage, something like that. And while it was kind of nice to have it as an invoker, it's a nice ability to have. You can do a lot more with abilities. I'm all for enhancing the abilities you already have. So, yeah, but I don't think that's going to be all that helpful. So, Rising Sun Kick gains 40% additional effectiveness from your... Yeah, that's probably fine. Rising Sun Kick critical strikes reduce the cooldown of Fist of Fury by 4 seconds. Spinning Crane Kick reduces the cooldown of Fist of Fury by 0.5 seconds for each unique target struck, up to 2.5 seconds. The critical strike chance of Rising Sun Kick is increased by 20. Okay, so yeah, I feel like that's probably good. Rising Sun Kick's critical strike chance is increased by 4% for each nearby enemy, up to 5. 10% of Rising Sun Kick's damage. Slashes into nearby enemies, dealing damage reduced beyond 5 targets. Fist of Fury's cheat cost is reduced by 1, but its damage is reduced by 10%. Okay. Your spells and abilities have a chance to activate Flurry, unleashing a barrage of deadly swipes to deal physical damage in a 10-yard cone. Yeah, so this used to be up here, I remember, because everybody made a big deal about the animation. I don't know that that's going to be much help. Yeah. Because it's just kind of a random ability, so... After consuming Blackout Kick, Rising Sun Kick has a 6% chance to become Rushing Wind Kick. Nature damage in a 25-yard cone. 2 enemies in front of you, evenly. Increase up to 6% for each target hit, up to 30. Sure. Of like the other abilities that have turned into something else, so play with that and see. So if I took that, let's see here. chi costs are reduced by 1, and blackout kicks reduces the cooldown of affected abilities by an additional 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so Strike of the Windlord was the artifact ability. I don't know if I need that. I feel like I probably do, but then I'd have to take all this other stuff. I'm only 70, so I do have like 20 levels to go, so I'm sure there will be some tweaking as I go along here. So, Tiger Palm causes your next blackout kick to strike an additional time. Stacking that in, I really don't care for that. Your magical damage is increased. I don't know what magical damage I would have. Vociferous chi cost is reduced by 1, but it's I don't like that. So, reduces chi cost by 1. Blackout Kick reduces the cooldown of affected abilities by 1 additional second for 15 seconds. Activating Zenith resets the remaining cooldown of Rising Sun Kick. Okay. So, do I get Touch of Karma, or is this just a baseline ability? Okay, so it's under Windwalker, so it might just be a baseline ability. Because it's not coming up when I search. Yeah. No, not that I'm seeing. Okay. Well. .2-minute recharge time. Yeah, because I think it has 2... Does it have 2 charges? Let me see here. Drag it down here so I can see. Yeah, it does have 2 charges. Okay. What does... So strike with both fists at all enemies in front of you, dealing physical damage and reducing movement speed. Deals reduced damage to secondary targets. Performs a devastating whirling upstrike, dealing physical damage to all nearby enemies and an additional to the first target struck. Only usable while both Fist of Fury and Rising Sun Kick are on cooldown. Remember, it had some kind of weird requirements. So strike, yeah. Regen reduces movement speed, deals reduced damage to secondary targets. So I don't know that that's actually going to be all that useful. Absorbs all damage taken for 10 seconds, up to 50% of your maximum health, and redirect 70 to target. Yeah, okay. So, I'm thinking that's remaining cooldown. So if I take this and this, the duration of Zenith is increased by 5 seconds, cooldown is reduced by 20, generates 1 chi. Sure, we'll go with that. So, okay. And going to quickly go through and reset the monk talent. So you get Rising Sun Kick and Paralyzed to begin with. Do 70% increased damage. Spending current kick does 10%. Yes, that's fine. Are snared. Sure. I want Tiger's Lust. Well, actually, no, I don't, because I have Flying Serpent Kick. So I've actually been using that. I was using the movement speed buff from Tiger's Lust, but with the other one, I don't really think I need that at this particular moment. So, Detox is probably a good thing to grab. Reduces all damage taken. That's fine. Probably want an interrupt. Might be a good thing to have. Your movement speed is increased 15. Need to spend. Now remove all enrage effects from the target. Their movement speed is increased. Reduces paralyze and leg sweep. Do I have leg sweep? I do. Hmm. That same spot. Don't really use paralyze that often. What's the cooldown of leg sweep? It's 50 seconds. Sure. I'll put two things into that because I'll probably end up using that quite a bit. So. Then leg sweep applies disabled to. Oh, nice. I like that. Okay. Touch of Death can now be used on targets with less than. No, not gonna do that. Yeah, I want Chi Tornado. Don't really ever use Transcendence. Auto attack criticals increased. Duration of snare effects on you is reduced. Expel harms healing is increased by 5. Critical strike chance increased. Okay, sure. Snare effects on you is reduced. Increases the range of leg sweep. Yes, your physical damage taken is reduced by 10%, an additional 10% every 4 seconds until you receive physical. Sure. Any type of damage reduction is fine. Not exactly what to take. Not exactly sure what to take as a DPS as opposed to a tank or a healer, because a tank can reduce damage and a healer can heal through damage, but a DPS kind of has to deal with it, so I guess I will. Yeah, I guess I will take Transcendence, I suppose. Yeah. Should probably grab Fortifying Brew, so have kind of an emergency ability. Yeah. Increases all damage dealt by 2%, 4%. Find resilience in the flow of chi in battle, gaining in a magical absorption shield. 0.6% of your maximum health every 3 seconds in combat. Ability, reduces cooldown of paralyze. Really only ever use Ring of Peace on as a Mistweaver. now reduces rage effects. Hmm. Yeah. I hate when you get to the point where you're trying to figure out what to take next exactly. The range of disable increased. The duration of crushing momentum increases. Yeah, no. Hmm. From an ally, so I don't know if that would actually work on me. I would like the movement speed increase. After detox successfully removes an effect from an ally, their movement speed is increased by 30% by 4 or 5 seconds, so it doesn't sound like it would trigger on me necessarily. You know what? I'll take that. And sure, why not just to move on from to the next row. So your healing is increased up to 10% based on health of its target. Lower health targets are healed for more. Roll, move, remove snare effects once every 30 seconds. Okay, so this was 2 talents. So both of these work with Expel Harm, but it's hard to know. Both were a bit lackluster. So Expel Harm's healing is increased by up to 100% based on your missing health. Expel Harm's critical healing is increased by 50%. So I think I ended up going with Strength of Spirit. What does this do? Next Tiger Palm. Yeah. So as much as I want to go with the critical strike effect, which I feel like should be better, I'm just going to go with what I have on my Brewmaster. Activating Zenith causes you to release a powerful stomp, dealing major damage to nearby enemies, generating 2 cheap, sure. Increases your maximum health by an additional 10%, and your damage taken is reduced. Fortifying Brew is active. Fortifying Brew's cooldown is reduced to 30 seconds. I think the increase to your health and damage taken is reduced is probably going to be better because I really don't use it all that often. And yeah, so activating Fortifying Brew transfers all currently activated harmful magical effects back to their original caster if possible. So Defuse Magic used to be a standalone ability, now it's passive. Which I think probably makes it work better, I feel like. Yeah, so your Celestial would be your effigy, which I don't currently have. Increases your physical damage done by 2%, avoidance by... I do like avoidance, so that would probably be good. Rushing reflexes is annoying because it rushes you to the target. So you can just be running by, not wanting to attack, and because they're hostile, it will just charge. Touch of Death's cooldown is reduced by 90 seconds. That's fine. Touch of Death now heals you for 50% of the damage done. I like that. You and your allies within 10 yards have increased movement speed. Stacks with other similar effects. Transcendence. Okay. Yeah. I think that's probably going to be the one to go with. So. Alright, so I've already made some changes because I remembered Vivacious Vivication, which allows you to get an instant heal from Vivify after you use Rising Sun Kick. So I went ahead and took out 2 talent points from one talent and then another from Quick-Footed because I don't really need duration of snare effects reduced. Right now I'm not going to be doing PvP. So, and then went ahead and took Tiger's Lust, Grace of the Crane, increases all healing taken, so that's not terrible. And then took Vivacious Vivication. So, yeah. So now, with that being said, let's see how this works exactly. So, I don't appear to be generating chi as quickly as I would like. So it seems like you have to keep using Tiger Palm to generate. Okay, so let's see what it does do. I see. So, okay. This may not have been the best target dummy to come to because I think I am, yeah, it's level 45, but I get the general idea. So it looks like Tiger Palm's the main chi generator. I thought something else generated chi other than Zenith. Yeah. But okay, so after kind of setting this up a little bit, the rotation seems fairly straightforward. You do only have one AoE, which I don't know how that's going to work necessarily. I mean, you kind of have Fist of Fury, you kind of have Blackout Kick. They do kind of cleave damage, I would say, because Fist of Fury only affects targets in front of you, and Blackout Kick only... what was it? Additional target. Triggers. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Blackout Kick damage increased. Strikes additional 2 targets at 80% efficiency. So, yeah, or effectiveness. 80% effectiveness. So that would be like cleave damage. So, yeah. But okay. So there we go. That was the main goal, was to get everything set up. So, I feel like I've done that with somewhat optimal efficiency. So the monk talents themselves and the specialization talents, at least for Brewmaster and Windwalker, I haven't looked at Mistweaver. Haven't done anything with Mistweaver in a while. Aren't that bad really. There is definitely worse. So there you go.